Hi YouTube, Mr. 08449 there. Today it's time for another, and unfortunately to say, last update on my Engage exhibition layout. So why exactly is it the last update? Well, it's not 100% true. It's the last update as I'm going to university soon, next couple of days actually. So this is the last update until Christmas. That's the next time I'll be home and to be able to work on the layouts. The same goes for the 00 gauge layout. Unfortunately, I just have not got enough time to make an update for it. I haven't really done enough work as well on it to do an update. I've been kind of distracted by this layout, which I think is a perfectly justified distraction. So anyway, it's gone really nicely. So yeah, that's all what's happening. I'm going to do a little video pretty soon after this one, just explaining my plan and what's happening and what I'm doing and so on. So first thing I'm going to notice if I come back here is I now have that picture frame effect I was going for with the black border all the way around, as you can see. I just think that just really gives the layout a sort of, well, it gives it a frame, it gives it just a real nice look to it, I think. And as all it's done, it's 1 inch by 2 inch wood at the top. It's a solid piece of wood. A couple of reasons for that. Number one is it makes the whole top, well, the whole back scenes nice and rigid. It gives strength to the whole of the layout. Number two is I can mount lights off of it. So there's actually some lights mounted on the other side, which I'll come back to at a later date. And two, it's a good mounting point for anything else. I don't know, cameras, things like that. It's a good place I can sit them on and get different angles and things like that. Which is why I chose to do something slightly rigid rather than using a 3mm piece of wood that flexes, because then I have to have a strengthening bar down the middle. Obviously I don't have to with this. So the bottom piece, again, that's 3mm paperboard. I don't even know what this stuff is, but it's just brilliant stuff. I cut it, shaped it down so as you can see in the hill. I did that on both sides, painted it all black, screwed it on. It's only got 3 screws. It needs 1 more here and 1 more on the other side. 5 screws in total, and that will hold it back down nicely and make it really nice and solid, which is really good. So I will move on to this platform later on in the video. We're going to start off here, in particular this area 1, middle of the track and at the far side. Now if you remember last time they were grey, sorry, it wasn't grey, it was brown, yeah, it was mud brown. I used spray paint, and it was a nice base layer. It gave it a good colour. But it wasn't the colour I wanted. It was this is actually pretty close to the colour I wanted. I didn't want black tarmac roads. I didn't want gravel yard. I wanted to have like a muddy, dirty, dusty sort of coloured road, like more in the countryside. You don't get black roads like you do towards the cities. There's a lot more dirt around. And I found an absolutely brilliant thing. I found this lying around. Oh, is it going to balance for me? Probably not. I have to hold it. I found this, and these are pastels, loads of different colours as you can see here, and on top there's browns and greys and whites, slightly reddy brown there. These here are absolutely amazing. You can pick up these for like £5. You can see how many colours there are there, but as you rub it on the wood it turns to dust, it turns to weathering powder. In fact, this is all that weathering powders are. It's just pastels ground up with different colours. If you rub this on the wood as I did, I'm actually going to put this down because let me just show you this again. It's what I did here is I used grey, dark brown, light brown, black, white and a pale blue colour, very pale blue colour. I basically just rubbed them all over it, let the powder that gets made sit there, and then just use your fingers, just rub all over the top of all of it, and it gives this really nice colouring. And I think it looks really good. It's a different colour. It's no longer brown, and I just think it looks so much better than having black tarmac roads. Now I've done the exact same on the far side. If I can get underneath, not getting the layout too much. There we go. I've done the exact same technique here and here using pastels. Now pastels are amazing. If you have, actually, they pastels, they chalk. They're chalk, sorry, my bad. They're chalk, not pastels. So yeah, use those, and they're brilliant for, sorry, that put myself off then, what was I saying? Oh yeah, exactly the same technique, rub it on, and then the powder that's made, you just rub it on with your fingers all over it, gives you a really nice base colour. And I prefer this colour to the road colour that I've used previously, rather than being black. It's obviously, as I mentioned before, this grey brown sort of colour, and I think it looks really good. Now there's a few areas like here, the powder won't rub over any glue, unfortunately, so the glue areas, it kind of doesn't grip and it just slides off it, but those areas there I'm going to hide I've got ideas of ways I can hide those little gaps and stuff. This is the main one here. I've got ways I can hide that, so that's not really a problem. I might be adding a little bit of a path gravel up to here and then stopping it about there, so it's like a walkway from like almost like a car park area to the main station. This one here is I've changed my mind here. Instead of having buildings here, I changed it to an access road, as you can see coming down, and there's going to be a signal here, so it's just an access road to the signal. There might be, I don't know, a little hut or something like that down the end, but nothing real serious, anything like that. Another thing you may have noticed is all this greenery I've added. I took quite a little while actually doing this, so I wanted to get a good mix of colours and design in there. Oh, sorry, there we go. So you can see there's loads of colours in there. Again, I used a little bit of yellows and oranges and the pinky colour in there to add different variant. There's light, dark and medium green in there, just randomly placed in. It's all let to grow loose and push up and spread out. I just think it looks really good. I like the effect how it's kind of growing over the ballast on both sides. There's a little bit more I want to do on this side here, especially on the in-between the tracks running up to about there somewhere. Just to give the effect of this here is kind of like growing over slowly. It's like just a siding, it's not really used that much. And I kind of joined this into the same colour scheme as I used on this side. Now moving round, I will come back to the station in a second. I've done the ballasting all the way down here. Now you might see it's a little bit thin, sort of right in the middle of the screen there. You can see the wood underneath. I've done that on purpose because I didn't want the glue to go inside the control for the point levers, so I purposely left it like that. I will in time very carefully put some more glue down and stick the ballast on top of that, but at the moment I think that looks pretty good. It's gone all the way along, as you can see, and I've done it on the front edge, and it goes underneath the station, and again I'm really happy with the way that looks. So moving on to the station, which I am very, very happy with now. If you remember at the end of the last update I said I liked the design of it, but I thought the wood was too unrealistic brown. It looked like it's aged very well. So I've just aged half of the station, half of the platform, sorry. If I lift it up high, the right hand side I've aged, and the left hand side I haven't yet. I was just like messing around a little bit, seeing what I could do. And as you can see, the right hand side looks very... actually the light reflecting off it doesn't give it a fair picture on the camera, but it gives it a lot more of a dull down look. It looks like it's been used a lot, there's been a lot of work on it, and the way I did that again was with the chalk pastel thingies that I had, and the exact same technique, just rub it on there and then get your fingers and rub it over. It gives it a very nice powder. You can still see the brown coming through in places, and I just think it looks really good. So I'm going to carry on doing that on the other half. As you can see, it's looking quite clear at the moment, but it's just weathering up really nicely, and I just think it looks really good. Now if I bring it back down, the station building itself, I've done quite a lot of work on that as well. Well, as you can see, I put a roof on it now, I've painted it, and again, guess what I used to colour it? Exactly, I used the pastel chalk thingies. I don't know, what are they? Anyone know what they are? Yeah, just put a comment below. And I painted the roof a nice black with a slight bit of grey and white in there to give it a mottled sort of effect. I think it looks really good. The outside walls are now a different coloured brown to the station. They're quite a different coloured brown, and I think that just gives it a nice effect of it. It's obviously a separate building that was added at a later date. Maybe they used slightly different wood, and I think it looks really good. Now I added a door on the right hand side of the booking office. As you can see, that was painted, that was actually painted with dark brown, but the rest of it was done without. And you can just see the back wall on the waiting area side. You can see the steps, the seats in front of it. They've got a black top to it and a white sort of underside to it. Just behind that you can see like a pale bluey grey colour. That's the walls. I painted all the walls that colour. Gives the effect of well, that somebody just painted the walls to decorate it. And I might be adding signs and clocks and things like that in there. Now another thing I've added in there is lights. I will try and show you the lights, but I think it's too light around to see. So, give me a second, here we go. So the lights are on. I can't actually see the camera screen. Oh, you can just about see them. So you can just see how the lights work. I'll take it off now. I put a resistor in there, a 10 ohm resistor. It's dulled down the brightness, like dramatically dulled down the brightness. It gives it a really, really nice effect, especially when the lights are turned off. It just glows out nicely onto the main station platform area. But it's just about alright actually. Now I'm planning on adding maybe 2 more lights on the station itself, maybe 3 more, and then at least 1 more light pointing that way towards the car park area. So this path here will be illuminated, and that will be about it. And then that will give a really nice effect when the lights are turned off. It will just illuminate this bit of the track where obviously where the station is. I think it'll look really good. So just going back to this building quickly, this, you saw it last time in its bare form. I made it white. I actually cut the roof off and made a new roof, and this one's got a slight overhang on it. There's a nice overhang all the way around. I just thought that looked a lot better than having it exactly the right fit. So that's another thing which I've done. The final thing which I did is when I was doing the ballasting, I was very careful that I'm playing with the levers here. I was very careful not to get any glue in the levers, because last time I had to pull out the middles and remake it all and so on. So this time I was very careful, and my trick was to put blue tack over the ends where the pipe, the clear tube meets the metal rods. Once the blue tack's on, you do not move the levers, because it might have the effect of pulling the blue tack inside, and then there'll be a lot of friction, which could cause problems. So once you've set the blue tack down, leave it alone, don't touch it, and then once the ballast is dried, you can then lift it up and pull it out of the way. So this station here has been stuck down pretty well. The front edge is all stuck. It's a little bit loose towards the back there. You can just see the movement. That's not a problem. When I add scenery around the back there, it will actually hold itself down, stick itself, so I'm not really worried about that at all. But I just love the way it's looking at the moment. I just think it looks really, really good. It's just got a nice, this side here has just come along really nicely. Love the way this looks. There's a little bit of a wall still to add in here. Swing back around this way. Good bit of detail coming in down there. It's just now starting to add the final colouring, a little bit of fencing and hedging and things, so on like that. I'd like to put a fence running along this piece of track here, all the way down till get to the platform area. And then I want to also add one on this edge closest to you, which will sort of box it all in, and it will separate the trains from the public, basically. That's what a fence does. Now I'm not too sure what exactly I'm going to do with this area here. I knew I wanted it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it just a general car park, if I'm going to turn it into a bit more of a, I don't know, allotments. I'm really not too sure. I did have an idea to build a tiny little station that just sat along there, like that, and then build up a ramp to it and make it into a little goods yard. Then have just a couple of lights dotted around to illuminate this sort of area in patches. But then that there would just leave a nice little station there, only about, well, about that sort of length. Stretch your fingers out wide and you'll get the idea. That sort of length I was thinking, so about 15 centimetres long, exactly the same build as the other platform, different colours though. I just thought that would give it, you know, another little thing, another dimension. It just gives it like it's still working, rather than it's just been completely disused, and well, that was it. So I can't remember if I mentioned this last time in the previous update or not, but I did put the ballasting on that piece of track there and on this piece of track here, just at the end. Sorry about the camera strap. I did ballast all that up. I can't remember if I showed you that in the previous update, but anyway, I'll just show you that now. And the final thing is my lights, which are just there. You can just see 1, 2 of them. I can't turn them on because I can't hold the camera and turn the lights on at the same time. Actually, you might be able to see them. I place it like this. Let's see how bright it is. They are LEDs. They produce a white light instead of, if I use normal bulbs, which produce a yellow light. There we go. I don't know how well that's picking on the camera because it's the middle of the day, so it's quite light outside. But as you can see, it just gives it a nice white light over the whole of the layout. I just think it looks really good, especially at night when I turn off all the other lights. Just switch on these. It just gives it another, you know. The point of the lights is if I'm exhibitioning it in a corner somewhere where it's a bit darker, these lights will be able to turn on and they'll be able to work absolutely fine. And thankfully they work off the same power as the lights in this here and off the controller, so I could buy myself a I'm probably going to buy myself a Bachmann controller, DC controller. If you know what they are, they're the little boxes that have got a big red knob in the middle that you twist around. And I think I like the look of those, and they've got auxiliary ports, so I'll be able to link all the lights up to that. I haven't done any more work on the wiring as such underneath. I haven't made a board to put all the isolating switches on, but that will all happen just in time, just give me time. So I think this is the last thing which I've done. Now this is the roof of the layout. We're just coming to shot now. This is the roof of the layout. So this here sits just on the top about there. It slides in. He's painting black, and the point of it with the shiny side here is that it will any light will reflect off of this and get pushed downwards towards the layout, and it just helps. It just helps illuminate any areas that might have been slightly dark. And it just gives it another effect. I might be adding some more LED strips, or maybe one more LED strip, just to, again, give it more light, make it even clearer to see. So that is it for my update. I will just finish by saying thank you to all my subscribers who have subscribed recently. I did just go over 400 subscribers. You are going to have to unfortunately wait for my 400 subscriber special. I'm trying to work out what to do, but it's fallen right in the week I'm going to university, and I kind of have to make that a priority at the moment. So apologies about that, but I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If it takes a couple of weeks, I really do appreciate all the subscribers, all the comments, all the likes, all the views and everything I get on my channel. It's amazing how quickly the channel's grown in just a couple of years. So yeah, thank you to all you guys for clicking that subscribe button. I will try and keep my channel going. I'm going to do a little video in a minute explaining of everything of how it's happening, so if you just bear with me, I'll keep it all for the other video. So I'll just finish by saying thanks for watching.